Okay friends, it's time to get started on our job. We're going to have to get underneath this plastic cover, so let's get it out of the way. To remove this, we're going to move over to the oil cap. Go ahead and grab onto that and turn it counterclockwise. We'll give it a quick inspection, make sure the seal's still good. Set that aside. Now we're just going to grab onto this cover, carefully lift it up, and we can get it out of the way. You're going to want to make sure you clean off the top of your engine where all of your ignition coils are going to be. Alright, so now with that cover off of there and the top of the engine cleaned down, the next thing we want to do to start replacing the coil boot is to go ahead and remove the coil from the area. So to do that, we're going to make our way over here. We'll go ahead and pop this gray plastic away, press down on this tab, and you should be able to pull it off. After that, just go ahead and give it a quick inspection, make sure you don't see any funny colors. To dismount this, there's going to be a 10mm headed bolt that we'll remove. If you can't squeeze the tab, just use a small pocket screwdriver underneath this area. You're going to find a little tab underneath here. Generally, you can get underneath it, give it a little twist, and slide this off. Go ahead and grab onto that coil. We're going to give it a little twist and lift it up and away from the vehicle. Now with the coil out of there, we can go ahead and take off the coil boot. To do that, I'm going to carefully grab onto this. I'm going to go ahead and give it a little twist from the rest of the coil and pull it down at the same time. Generally, I like to do this away from the top of the engine because I don't want anything to fall down near that spark plug. There we are. You want to have a look inside here. You can see you've got your little resistor fuse. There it is, friends. We're just going to continue on with some dielectric grease, not wheel bearing grease. Now the next thing we're going to do is take our little fuse. We're going to put that directly inside the hole right here. Now we can take our boot and we'll put it right over. Looking at this area where my index is, you can see that it has a little piton that kind of sticks out a little bit. And if you were to look inside of our boot, approximately where my finger is here, you're going to see that you have a lip that it locks into. Let's go ahead and take this. We'll put it in position and slide it up to lock it in. Just going to listen for a little click, and I'm going to give it a nice tug. I want to make sure that this is secure. Now we can get ready to get this back in the vehicle. Okay friends, now it's time to install our ignition coil. To put this in, let's use a little bit of dielectric lube right inside this port right here. I also generally like to come right along the outer aspect as well. And now we can just go ahead and take this and we're going to slide it down and into position. When we do this, we want this area to line up with the top of the spark plug and then the bolt area to line up with its corresponding bolt hole on the engine. That slides right down on there. I'm going to give it a little wiggle to work in that dielectric lube. Now we can take our mounting bolt. Just give the threads a quick inspection. You want to make sure it doesn't look like they're rotted or damaged in any way. If they are, just go ahead and replace the bolt. This one looks fine, so I'll go ahead and put it in here. Now let's snug this up. Once you have it snug, let's torque it to 89 inch-pounds. Assuming you're sure there's no corrosion inside of this connector here, let's connect it to the ignition coil. We're going to press this in, listen for a click. There's a click. I'm going to give it a tug to make sure it's completely secured and it will not fall off, and then I'll lock it in with the gray locking tab. One last check. Now the process will be the same for all. Now it's going to be time to get our cover back on here. To do that, let's remove our oil fill cover again. Now to put this cover on here, I just want to show you the bottom. You're going to have a couple rubber grommets. Each of those rubber grommets needs to fit onto their corresponding little pitons that are located on or near the engine. Essentially, it's going to hold this in place. Let's go ahead and get this one lined up back here. Now I'll get this one lined up and press it down. Give it a little wiggle to make sure it's secure. Continue on with the oil cap. Okay friends, I showed you how to do one. Now like I said before, the process for all the rest is going to be the exact same thing. Once you have them all done, go ahead and take it for a road test. Make sure you don't hear any funny noises and there's no check engine light. Aside from that, thanks for watching.